Hey guys, welcome back to Awesome Build. And this week we're going to be doing a little behind the scenes of our prep for the Suicide Squad review. Doug had a huge list of things that he needed for this review. Fortunately, most of it were things that I could find. I didn't necessarily have to build because we had so much stuff to get ready and prep for this review. But also, I did have a little bit more time. I had about a week to collect or find or make any of the little things that we needed. But like I said, the laundry list of things that we needed was pretty long. I think it was like 17 costumes, 13 or 14 specific props, and then 2 set pieces created specifically for a couple of scenes that we're going to be shooting. So there was quite a lot that we kind of had to gather up and stuff. Fortunately, a lot of things I do have or had parts of that I could kind of throw together. And then there were a lot of things that I needed to either order or go find. I did do a lot of driving around to different thrift stores and costume shops and joke shops and stuff like that to try and collect as much of the stuff as I could. And then a few things we had to kind of make real quick. But for the most part, this is going to be kind of looking at just the items that we had to gather up and get ready for. Because on the day of, it's going to be a couple of days of filming actually for this review. And I'm going to be in this review quite a bit. So we're going to try and shoot my scenes. There's going to be a lot of heavy makeup and costuming and stuff like that for this review. So we're going to try and shoot a lot of my scenes early and later so that in the middle there, I have plenty of time to do the makeup and costumes and any kind of props and stuff like that that we might need during filming. So come on, we'll take a look at some of the stuff that we've got set up already, and yeah. All right, so the list of things that Doug sent me that he needs are as follows. Jim, costumes, Joker outfit for me, and also a tux for the Joker in later scenes. Deadshot costume for Malcolm, gangster outfit for Rob, Batman outfit for Doug, preferably the Batman vs. Superman, Flash outfit for Walter, a Wonder Woman outfit for Tamara, Deadshot's little daughter costume for Malcolm, Captain Boomerang for Brian, Diablo outfit for Walter, Enchantress outfit for Heather, Katana costume for Tamara, Slipknot costume for either Walter or Lando, a Putty costume from Power Rangers, Diablo's headdress from when he turns into a big monster guy, Bill costume for Malcolm, 3 cop uniforms. All right, so that's it for costumes. And fortunately, a lot of this stuff I have elements of it. Now, props. Number 1, anal beads. Yeah. All right, 2, a binder that has info on the Suicide Squad simply labeled nuts. He'll bring the inside pages. A boomerang, Rob's dino mask, Harley Quinn trading card, a hard hat, a dead mouse, a knife, preferably fake because it's going to be waved around in people's faces, a katana sword, preferably fake because it's going to be getting swung around, a name tag that says Rick, a microphone for a reporter, and a dancing hula doll that sits on a dashboard. So that's not too bad. A lot of that stuff I have or I can find relatively easily. Settings. All right, so we're going to be trying to recreate 2 scenes in this film from like a cafe scene or a restaurant scene and a bar scene. So he just needs 2 set pieces that he can shoot instead of having to do it green screen because it's going to be a lot of editing and stuff and he wants to shoot it fast. So we're going to try and create 2 sort of set pieces that kind of mimic those specific scenes, and they don't have to be super elaborate. They just have to give kind of a general idea because the shots are going to be pretty simple. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff, but most of it are things I think I can find or alter relatively easily. There are some things I'm probably have to go out and get and stuff like that, but there are a lot of things that we already have in-house, and those things I've kind of already started to collect. So let's go over some of the costume stuff we have in stock. All right, so a few easy ones. We've got the Batman costume. I did buy a new Batman belt because I actually used the belt that we were using for something else. The Harley Quinn t-shirt. The rest of the costume, I believe Ayana has. Ayana's going to be playing Harley Quinn. Just throw a little shoulder holster on there, and she's pretty much good to go. The Wonder Woman costume, we've gotten a ton of use out of, and I've got a couple of different versions now of that, so depending on, I guess, the look that Doug wants to go for. Over here, all right, so Deadshot. I just got a red shirt with one of our vests with the blade kind of foam that I made, the blade vest, basically, with some shin guards. So his wrist guns actually are just Iron Man, like toy wrist guns that we actually had left over from our first snidering video that we did. So I just kind of painted a black stripe down them to make them look a little bit different. I don't know, but it'd be kind of funny if they just looked like toy Iron Man wrist guns. So that's basically it. I also have the mask, but I'm not sure if Doug necessarily wants to use it. And also, I'm going to need probably a bald cap for Malcolm. And so again, depending on if they want to go with the mask or they want to go with the bald cap, I'm going to need like a prosthetic beard and the bald cap and everything. It's going to be a lot of makeup on the day of filming, so kind of depends how much time and stuff Doug wants to focus on it, but I will have to get those elements just in case. Also, Enchantress is going to be played by Heather, and I want everyone to feel comfortable, so I actually had Heather go find some tights and a shirt and stuff like that that she felt comfortable in, that was kind of like flesh colored, nude colored, and then I will add elements to that. I've got some netting. I've got this sleeved netting that I got at American Science and Surplus to kind of go on her arms. I've got different kind of netting and stuff like that to drape around her, and we'll tattoo, we'll do some fake tattoos and silly tattoos and stuff like that on the actual garment so that I don't have to paint her up and tattoo her and stuff as much. So we'll just have to do some makeup with her face and her hair and everything like that. So it'll be less involved on the day of filming and stuff. So those are those elements. We do have plenty of police uniforms. I have a bunch of cop uniforms and stuff like that, so we have those on stack. Slipknot costume is just one of our vests with some ropes attached to it. Pretty easy. And then, yeah, so we do have a boomerang and a big coat that we kind of use for like I call it the Bane coat, but yeah, big furry lined coat in the inside, whatever, kind of for boomerang. And those are the elements I have so far. Also, I think for when Malcolm plays his daughter, I think she's wearing like a fur coat and stuff like that. I do have a fur coat that we can put on him and then just give him like braids or something like that to make him look, I guess, more like a little girl. So let's go to some of the props and stuff that we have. So Tamara's actually doing her katana costume. She's gonna do a tutorial on her channel, which you can find the link below, and check that out. She did an amazing job. It came out awesome, I think. The only elements that she needed were the mask and the katana. So I did find a mask. I was originally gonna make one, but then I found one pretty cheap that looked pretty good at a costume place online, and so just ordered it. And then just a cheap toy katana that I covered with aluminum tape to kind of give it the look of a real blade, sort of. And that's that. Anal beads. I just bought a cheap, like dollar store bracelet. It had big beads on it, and Barney restrung it and put a ring on the end. Apparently these are what anal beads look like. Fortunately, he's an expert and was able to put that together. Also, a dead mouse. I actually had a hard time finding a dead mouse. I went to Fantasy Costumes, which is a huge costume store in Chicago, and it's like a block long. It's like super huge. They have tons of stuff. Usually they have everything I need if I'm looking for something I can't find or whatever, but they didn't really have any dead mice or little mice props or anything like that. They had some rats and stuff like that, but they were all a little too big. They didn't really look like what Doug was looking for. So the closest thing I could find was at a pet store. I found a bin full of these little toy cat toy mice. Looks pretty close. I had to add legs and stuff like that to it and kind of paint it up a little bit to make it look a little bit more like a mouse, but hopefully, depending on how Doug shoots it, it'll work out. Also, Barney did the binder with nuts on it. He also gave Doug the option if he wanted to say mixed nuts. So it's got two options there. Also, Barney is going to be handling the name tag for Rick and the Harley Quinn trading card, so I can't wait to see how that turned out. Also, I had to order this online. I thought I'd be able to find one very easily. So when Doug originally came to me, he said that he wanted Heather to play Enchantress, and when she does like the hula dance, he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, if I'm going to add some kind of CG, or I don't know. He's like, I'm not really sure I'm going to shoot it, but I want it to look kind of ridiculous. So I just suggested, why don't we just get a dashboard hula girl and just shake it in front of the blue screen and just put that in for that sequence. So he said that would be funny and easy enough to do. And I thought it'd be easy enough to find one of these, but I couldn't. So I wound up just ordering one online, and whatever, that was easy enough. But so for the set pieces, the restaurant sequence and the bar sequence, we're actually going to film on our main set, because we already have the lights and stuff set up, and the walls and everything are dark. It's easy to kind of set up some shots if we need to and shoot it practically so that Doug doesn't have to do a green screen. We can shoot it, do kind of a shallow depth of field and leave the background a little dark so that we just get a hint of things that are going on back there. So I just hung some curtains and some fake windows to kind of give the illusion in the background that they're in a restaurant. You add some ambient noise and stuff like that too, and it all kind of helps give the illusion. So hopefully that works out. I don't know, we kind of did some tests and it seemed to look okay, so kind of depends on how Doug wants to shoot it too. We might have to move some things around, but yeah, I don't know, we'll find out. So now on this side, we put some batten lights behind this structure with blue lights in them, so it's going to shine up, which illuminate the back wall. It kind of gives a really kind of cool blue light effect. And then I made these orbs just out of some cheap LEDs, hanging from string, whatever, just to kind of give it an extra look. So the two lights against the black background with the blue light shining up and stuff like that, and some splash of color, I think will give the illusion that they're in kind of like a bar or a nightclub or something like that. So again, it's only for like a couple of shots that they were going to need it for. It's just to give it a little bit of a look. It's going to be sort of out of focus. So that way we can just shoot it practically again, and Doug can edit it quicker. So we don't get the opportunity to shoot a lot of set pieces like practically. We've been doing a little bit more and more. One other sequence we're going to film practically is inside the helicopter, so we're going to use the corridor that I built, so we can do that practically also. But these pieces it was kind of fun to set these up and set up the shots and kind of play with some of the lighting and stuff like that. Barney came in, and the two of us kind of we hung the drapes and we hung the lights and stuff like that, and kind of played around with it, turning with the we kind of played around with stuff and changed lighting and stuff like that, and so it was cool. I'm excited to see how it comes out and see how well it looks. All right, so that's kind of it for the things that we have ready to go. The rest of it's going to be on the days of filming. So I'm going to have to play the Joker, so I'm going to have to do makeup and stuff like that. And I've played the character before, which is why Doug wanted me to play the character again. But because I'm going to be doing a lot of scenes and stuff like that, I got a decent wig, and I bought some actual metal teeth, and I've never used them before. So it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. But aside from that, we're going to be doing a lot of makeup and costuming and stuff like that on the day of, and that I never really know how it's going to turn out until we're in the midst of it. So yeah, we'll just see what happens. All right, so that's it for this element of it. We're going to start filming in a few hours, and today and tomorrow. All right, see how it goes. All right, so on the day of filming, things went really well, but there are some things that didn't quite work out the way we expected or that I anticipated. When I was asked to play the Joker, Doug had come to me because I had played the character before when we did the first Snydering video, and when we did at that time I just taken tinfoil and put it in my teeth, and because I really didn't have very many lines while I had that in my mouth and stuff like that, so it looked fine. I think it worked out fine, but it was still kind of hard to talk, and I kept falling out and stuff like that. So in anticipation of that, I went online and I went to a place called Grills and purchased some fake metal teeth or fake grill. There's like a wax, almost like a waxy material kind of piece that you heat up, and then you place it in the grill and pop it on your teeth or whatever, and it sets and forms around your actual teeth. And that worked out. Once I heated it up enough, I had to do it a few times to kind of course, once I got it to fit and it looked okay and everything, I would deliver a few lines and then it would fall out. So we tried several times to do it, and I went back to even trying to do the foil, but everything, just was hard to keep it in my mouth without it falling out. And we didn't have really a lot of time to come up with a solution, so that's why we wrote in the joke that my teeth are falling out, or the grill's falling out, and actually Doug said that my actual teeth were scarier anyway, so I guess that's a compliment. Also, I did purchase a bald cap for Malcolm that we were going to apply on the day of filming. Also, I did purchase a bald cap for Malcolm that we were going to apply on the day of. However, Malcolm is a little particular about his hair, and it does sit kind of high up on his head. We were going to have to really flatten it down. It was going to take some time to apply the bald cap with the prosthetic and stuff, and add the latex and everything and blend it all in. And then we had to add the beard and everything. So we kind of, again, came up with the idea of just putting, we had a wig cap that was like a dark brown kind of wig cap that I put on initially to kind of flatten his hair down and stuff like that to see how it would look. And basically we just decided that combined with just keeping the mask on but like pulled up would alleviate having to apply the prosthetic, basically. So it did save a lot of time on production and stuff like that. And originally too, we were going to have the prosthetic beard. I had a fake beard that I was going to apply. We started to apply it, actually. That was part of it. So we had put the beard on, but it looked kind of fake. And again, it was going to take some time to kind of get it all to look right. And we hadn't tested any of this stuff. I never really get a chance to test any of the makeup out or the costumes or anything really until the day of filming. So I never know exactly how things are going to work out or how things are going to look. So we decided to scrap the beard, and I just used makeup to darken his face to make it look like he had a beard. And actually, that looked probably better and a little less distracting than a fake-looking beard. So also for Heather's character, for the Enchantress character, I had purchased some different jewelry and stuff like that, some costume jewelry and just some cheap jewelry. And I had some stuff here from just lying around that we had left over from other costumes or that we had in props and stuff like that we're going to use to kind of jazz up the costume a little bit. And Heather actually came in on the day of with all of this jewelry that she had found really, really cheap, and it was perfect and it actually worked out great. So we wound up using all of that, and really all of the elements of that costume really came together great because Heather really put a lot into it. It was great that Tamara was taking care of her character. She really wanted to make that costume, and it came out really, really great. which, and again, made it so much easier on me as one less costume to have to focus on and worry about. And also with Ayanna, you know, I went to pick up Ayanna from the train to bring her on set, and she walked off the train as Harley. I mean, she had put up she had done her makeup and her hair and everything on the train. You know, she had some of the costume, you know, she had brought it with her and stuff like that, and then I just basically supplied the shirt and the holster and the bat and stuff like that. But, you know, she came kind of already in makeup, already ready to go. So on a shoot like this, like when I have to do costumes and makeup, and I'm also playing a character, and I have to work one of the cameras, and I have to do stuff behind the scenes, it does get to be quite a bit. So it's great when everybody kind of pitches in and stuff like that. Unfortunately, you know, usually sometimes Barney is here, and Barney comes in and gives me a hand and stuff like that. Unfortunately, Barney was sick that day and couldn't come in while we were filming and stuff like that. So, you know, it helped greatly that, you know, Ayanna and Heather and Tamara were able to put so much effort into their own costumes and their makeup and everything. It really helped out on set and on the day of. So I just wanted to give you a little shout out and say you guys are awesome, and thanks so much for helping me out. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning into this special episode of Awesome Build, where we've been looking at a little bit of what went into the Suicide Squad review. If you guys want to see more behind the scenes of the Suicide Squad review, go ahead and check out the making of the Nostalgia Critic Suicide Review. Also, you can check out the Suicide Squad review bloopers, which is a lot of fun. So, once again, thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. I hope you guys found this somewhat enjoyable and/or entertaining. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching.